I mean, life's honestly been a pretty crazy whirlwind on just 2 cracked vertebrae in my back.
How did that happen?
9 days off in 10 years. Yeah, I worked myself into the ground.
Wow.
Yeah, like I had chest pains, every kind of pains, like hip pains, knees.
What was driving that relentless
So
work
if
ethic?
so for the crypto part of it, so I probably put 40,000 in, and I cashed out 300K when I was comfortable, and I paid off the house.
Is that crazy or what?
Yeah.
Let's talk about how bad it was and how fast you started on that project. We're very grateful, by the way. This is why we're even doing this, because I really want to make sure that more people know about you. And I really hope that somebody that watches this video gives you a shout. Like, that's really my intention with this. Here we are on another Real Talk Geo. This time we have Jake Blackowiak. Jake Blackowiak reached out to me, I don't know how many months ago, and he had said, he said, Geoffrey, I'm in XYZ business and I'd love to know if I could ever help you out. Well, that business was junk removal, but his name carries a lot of weight on this side of town, and the reason being is Blackowiak used to be in the trash business for years and years. I'm just gonna ask Jake a lot of questions and talk about all the various great things that he's done for us, and we're gonna segue a little bit into a business that he's launching that'll be on a part 2 on another day. I'll just have to say, Jake, first of all, I really appreciate that real cold reach out, because I think it takes a lot of courage, right, to just reach out to somebody randomly, but it's also a necessity.
Yep.
So talk to me about the life of little Jake, your family, where you are now, and what are you trying to do going forward?
Yeah, I mean, life's honestly been a pretty crazy whirlwind on just a lot of different aspects. I mean, I went from just all the way back to when I got out of school, I weighed 310 pounds with 2 cracked vertebrae in my back.
How did that happen?
I was just lifting heavy stuff at the house.
Sure.
And just super unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I got the call one day that we actually had a dump truck driver. He was reaching in the truck, and his stomach caught the lifter, and then the lifter came up behind him, and it pinned him in the garbage truck.
Wow.
And he passed away. Actually, he got caught in the truck and passed away, and I took over his route.
Yeah.
And within, it was 8 months, I lost 130 pounds.
Wow. So let's go back a little bit here. When you say his route, was this the family business then?
Yep. So we all have
let's talk about that.
So yeah, we all have our routes. We're working for the family business.
Yeah.
Mainly, we probably about 1,000 stops is your max for each person.
Sure.
And yeah, I was doing 30,000 steps every single day.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
310's a lot.
Yeah.
And you dropped 130?
Yeah.
In how long of time?
Gosh, I think it was actually 140. I went from 310 down to 170 in 8 months within 8 months. And
about how old were you when you started taking over this guy's route?
When I took over his route, I would have been 20.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say 20 or 19.
Yeah.
So I was pretty young, right out of school.
Right out of school.
Yeah, and then actually working the route that I took over for him, I got blessed by, his name is Brad, and he gave me the keys to his house, $500, and first month's rent free.
Wow.
All of that included, and that was within 10 minutes of me meeting this guy.
Wow.
Yeah, so then that's actually where I springboarded. I lived in Maryland for 7 years.
Sure.
And I did that for a long time. I lived right in the island, and we did our garbage company around the lake, and I got to know lots of people.
Sure. And so you grew up in Maple Plain.
Yep.
And then you moved out of Maple Plain into where, Mound?
Yep,
first place?
Towards Mound.
Yeah, towards Mound.
Yep. So it's I grew up right in Independence, Maple Plain area in the country, which is great. Very, very blessed to have.
Was it one of these big lots, were there horses around or what?
Yeah.
That was a nicotine hiccup, by the way.
There you go. Yeah. There's every house around us has horses. We didn't have horses, but we still had 5 acres and woods, and we were always outside, and it was a good growing up.
Kind of an ATV life growing up?
Yeah, we had ATVs and all that kind of fun stuff, so it was a pretty good time.
Well, the joys of living in the country.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no one bothers you. I mean, someday I'd love to get to that point, but...
So fast forward, you started taking over the routes. How many years were you doing that for then?
Yeah, so the routes I was doing, gosh, I did I took 9 days off in 10 years.
Wow.
So I worked every single day, Monday through Friday, for literally 10 years straight, pretty
Wow.
much. Yeah, I worked myself into the ground.
Wow.
Yeah, like I had chest pains, every kind of pains, like hip pains, knees, all of it.
And
Yeah.
did you do that because it was the family business, or what was it? Like, what
Yep.
was driving that, like, relentless, like,
So
work ethic?
if I took a day off, it would be my dad would have to do the route,
Yeah.
and then they were all splitting it between the other two guys. So I was
Yep.
just really kind of put in a spot where it's just always happened to.
And so when
Grind.
did and so what was the actual formal business name?
So it was Blackowiak and Sons,
Okay.
and then my grandpa actually sold, and his brother sold out on my dad.
Mhm.
My dad worked for him from the time he was a kid,
Yeah.
and they sold it and split all the money, and left, and they didn't give my dad nothing. So then what happened with that is the guy who got caught in the truck actually begged my dad to start the company back up.
Wow.
And that's why it's Blackowiak Disposal.
Got it.
So we changed it. We had like a little hiatus where we weren't around for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And then, but they didn't know my grandpa had a son, which was my dad. So then he found like, where he was fine, but he just had to do a different name.
Sure. Okay.
So.
And so, fast forward, at some point, you brought some life into this world, and you got a boy. I've met him. He's a good kid.
Yep. Yeah, Jacob Jr.
Jacob Jr.
Yep.
And how old is he now?
So he turned 4 July 1st.
And
So.
I'm assuming he's doing like a daycare thing. What are your plans? Because next year is fast approaching, right? Kindergarten.
Yeah.
Jacob Jr. and my daughter are the same age, so it's like we got to start thinking about what we're gonna do with kids coming soon.
Especially in the world we live in. You
Yeah.
know, you got to be cautious on where you're going, where you have
Yeah.
them going, and all that.
Have you been thinking about it?
Yeah. Ideally, I would really like Waconia. Waconia is a great area.
Yeah, and that's the side of town that you live on now. You live in St. Bonnie currently.
Yep. So about 7 years ago, I purchased a house in St. Bonnie and been living there.
You should talk about how you purchased that house because it's a very interesting story. I actually don't know many people in Minnesota. This feels almost more like a coasts kind of story. It's a crypto story, so let's get into it.
Sure. So I actually took, so for the crypto part of it, I invested that over time. So when we do garbage routes, we get Christmas bonuses. So for 3 of the years,
Who gives the Christmas bonus? The clients?
The clients, yeah.
What's a typical bonus that somebody would put in an envelope and give to
Oh
their...
gosh, very vast range is there. I'd have, a typical $20, $40 an envelope.
Yeah, okay.
All the way to $600 former Vikings
All right.
players. Like,
Yeah.
So very vast range, but you're also doing different kinds of stuff. The football player one, I'm running down his driveway to grab all of his cans. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
He's forgetting a little bit more often than the other person, so he makes
Sure.
up for it. But
Okay.
so
And so Christmas bonuses would come around,
yep.
and you would do what?
And I would just basically take, and then I had 2 roommates that lived with me in the Mound House. For a while, it was 3, so I had I just charged them $500 because that's what the guy did for me and helped me jumpstart my life. So I kind of help other people. And so basically, I just take the extra money. Actually, how it really worked was I took any extra money from the renters. I would pay my mortgage and then my bills. And then any extra money I would just, like from my checks or the bonus, I would invest into crypto. So I did that.
And what platform and like what were you using? Like what were the...
I mainly just use Coinbase. It's pretty simple, basic.
Okay.
And they're a super safe company. And for the longest time I kept buying this coin. It was called Tron, and I was like, God, can you imagine if this went to $1? I had it was like 1 million coins. Like I was like, God, that'd be cool,
Yeah.
So then, I don't know what happened, but one day I just got it into me, and then I was like, I just don't believe in Tron anymore, and I switched over to another coin.
And which was?
Which was Cardano.
Yeah, Cardano.
And so the guy who made Cardano was actually the old founder. He was one of the first, he was one of the founders of Ethereum. So, but he didn't like the way that Vitalik was going with the project, so he went off and he made his own project. And I firmly believe in this guy, and I seriously think it's going to be one of the powerhouses coming.
Tell everybody how wild the ride was when it went to its peak.
So I probably put 40,000 in, and I cashed out 300K when I was comfortable, and I paid off the house.
Is that crazy or what?
Yeah, I paid off the St. Boni house.
Yeah, and this house is paid off. I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah, that was just super fortunate and blessing. And then I left. Part that hurts a little bit is I left $700K in there, and that went under $100,000. So heartache.
Yeah.
But I mean, it came back obviously over time, and it will again. It just it's
well. I think it's obviously, I can't imagine the amount of adrenaline that's pumping during this period of extreme fluctuation. But even if you were really, it was a much bigger position at one point, your home has been paid for.
Yeah.
And that's allowed you to do some creative things.
Mm-hmm.
One of which is you run your own business, you help people like me out, you're helping a lot of people out. I think you should get into some of the services that you do there, just because a lot of people don't realize what like current other trash companies are paying are costing when it comes to like a dumpster and the services. Because fact is, I mean, I don't want to say that you're cheap, but you do provide value in such a way where I think it's really important that if you live on the west side of town, you should call Jake, and we'll put the phone number and everything in the description. But you're really helpful.
It's honestly unmatched, and I don't think anyone can really match it because they get so in over their heads with loans for their dump trucks or whatever their trailers or however they want to do it. And I got really lucky, obviously, with the paying everything off part. So I don't have those stresses that
we don't have that unbelievable constant pressure that a lot of these smaller dumpster companies actually have. Because not a lot of people realize this, but a junk removal service or dumpster companies, they might have like 30 of these, but they're not free, and they bought them, and most of them bought them on loans. And the housing market's shrunk a little bit, right? Let's call a spade a spade. And so all of those guys are essentially trying to overcharge because they need the cash so bad, right?
Yeah, they're all put in a spot, and then they're paying the employees too, and that's then you're just you get in over your head pretty quick. Like, that's what started me to do it. Is probably, I'm not kidding you, Geoffrey, it was probably a pile the size of this couch. Less than this couch.
Okay.
And they quoted me $700.
Yeah, that's insane.
And I was like, this is crazy. So I went that very same day, and I went and started the LLC. Started this up because I was like, I could really help some people around here. I did it after work every day. So I'd do my 30,000 steps at garbage, probably 25,000 of it, and then I'd go and I'd look at the list after work every day. And I'd have to do all the extra pickups. Recently,
we had a property in Watertown that had a city sewer backup. And this knucklehead in Watertown is spelled bad. This knucklehead in Watertown thought it was not necessary to flush the system. And of course, in that unit, the place backed up. But let's talk about how bad it was, and how fast you started on that project. We're very grateful. By the way, this is why we're even doing this, because I really want to make sure that more people know about you, because the speed of which you begun that project is something that I will never forget. And I
think it was same day.
It was same day. And if it was like a traditional I'm not even sure what those kinds of companies are really called.
It's like gosh, what are they called? Like Serve Pro or whatever.
Like they wouldn't have done it as fast as you. Which is why everybody needs to know about Jake.
No, we saved that house for sure. Because we had to get it drying out as fast as possible. But the removing the junk was the hardest part. So we just went straight in there, cut out all the carpet, and got fans in there and drying and mold preventer and everything within the same day. So.
And we have somebody that had just moved in, I believe, a couple days ago, and this is like a short timeline. So from a turnover speed efficiency standpoint, from a if I were to rate you, it's just unbelievably high metrics on everything, and I'm very grateful. And it all stems from this power of reaching out to random people in the first place, right? One of the persons that I have always admired, his name is Jeff Hornig. A lot of people in Minnesota know that family name, Hornig, because they own a lot of property. He's also the broker owner with his spouse Olivia. One of the things he would always drill into my head is the fundamentals of small businesses work with people that work with you. And I just think it's so important to boost the people that we care about and the people that really do us honor. And I really hope that somebody that watches this video gives you a shout. Like, that's really my intention with this.
Yeah, and you got to take pride in your work, you know,
100%.
and and reaching out to people, you can't be afraid of that. That's the beautiful thing about life is you get to know people.
Yeah.
And
But it all came from you just reached out to me. So you must have reached out to a lot of realtors.
So how that worked is one day, or not really. I always had it in my mind, but work was slow in the middle of summer, and I was like, gosh, like it just shouldn't be a slow time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's the middle of the year.
Yeah.
And I called every single realtor all the way from Mound all the way to Excelsior.
Yeah.
Every single one. Or stopped in their offices if they had an office.
Yeah.
And I just reached out to everybody.
Yeah.
Not all of them answered, but, you know, I left, you know, voicemails or whatever. But yeah, I mean.
That's the power of the cold, approach, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, we all need to do it. I need to do it. It's prospecting, right? Prospecting is a challenging thing to do because you have to get over yourself.
Oh yeah,
it's a total ego death, is what.
And
it
I
is.
mean, I'm an absolute. I take pride in this as well. Is I'm an absolute master at the door.
Yeah.
Like I do door-to-door leads.
Yeah.
Before I started this job.
Yeah.
And I got 350 leads in one summer.
Wow.
Like just door-to-door for roof leads.
Yeah.
Like I was sending in 20 a day, doing more than they had all of their employees.
So when it comes to like dropping trash off, where are you actually bringing it to?
So I usually try to, you know, sort it out as best as possible. But I mean, usually it all generally goes to the dump at Shakopee.
Yeah.
So, which is not very ideal for a lot of people around here, because by the time you get to a U-Haul place, rent the truck or, you know, rent the trailer, that's $100 at least.
But you don't need to do that because you already have everything.
Yep. So I don't have to do that. So I mean, it takes out like. And then it's a half hour, you know, there from my house, but that's the closest dump for anybody around here. So it's hard for people to get that stuff to dump out.
But this is not the only thing that you're doing. Right now, you're also attempting, and what do we call the gamer pad? What is that?
So I have a gaming pad that I invented and patented and everything, and it literally just goes on your lap.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring the prototype.
That's all right. We'll show it another day.
But yeah, so it goes on your lap, and then you can, instead of having your elbows right on your like legs like this and being hunched over, it helps straighten your back. That was because after work every single day, I'd just relax and play games because I was trying to save my money investing in crypto. Like I was just like, I literally didn't do anything. Like I sat at home and saved my money as much as possible to get to that point.
And there's like another story with this. Like you have a lot of inventory ready to get shipped out.
Yep.
And let's talk about like the emotional story there.
Yeah, so I invented it. I literally took spray foam and I sprayed it into this mold, like into like basically a tote or a plastic tote, and then I cut the foam to like fit perfectly and did all that.
Yeah.
And my prototype was just wild. And then I took like a foam, like a bedding topper, and I glued them together. Yeah. And it looked pretty.
They're pretty awesome. But how many do you have ready to ship out right now, roughly?
I probably have 1,000, maybe like 950.
Yep.
I think I only sold like 50 after I did my initial.
And what's the website called?
Backgamepad.com.
We'll put the link in the description and everything like that, so that if you guys want to look into that and pick up one, and you know, maybe you can pick up one. I mean, Christmas is coming, right? Like parents have kids, and you know, it'll help them, you know, not be like too hunched over or whatever.
Yep. And the reason why I have so much inventory is because when I was right after I invented it and everything, I got my inventory in. My sister had passed away at 27. So then, which was right before my son was born. And that just like I just put like a halt on basically everything for a long time.
How'd she pass, if you're willing to share?
So it was just like just a bizarre deal, but somebody hung out with her and they did some new drug, and that's just all it took. So I mean,
this is a problem, right? It's not every single person I know now. They know someone that there's been a tragedy for.
Yeah, so I mean, it hits everybody. You know, everyone's got someone that they know, and it resonates with them. So it's like it shakes your whole world. You know, and so
it's one of the reasons why I think it's important to talk about. Because every horrible situation can have something good happen from it.
Yep.
And one of the goods from this, for instance, is maybe. Maybe that gives the energy it needs to awaken other people's interest in these gaming pads, and I really hope that like turns into a thriving business, because again, there's a lot of inventory. It's ready to ship out.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally piled to the ceiling in one of my guest rooms, like filling up the whole room. So something for sure in the future we'll be putting more of an initiative.
Let's talk about this side of town, because I feel very much so. I'm not an interloper. Right, I'm just not from the side of town. We bought the place that we're living in now, a few years ago, right before the big COVID situation happened. But like, obviously, you know everything about the cities, because how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay, so like, what was it like growing on this side of town? I mean, did you ever go into Minneapolis just for fun and shows and stuff, or never really?
Yeah, I'd go downtown and do that whole thing here or there. But I mean, I was always more just enjoying the. I mean, I'm not kidding.
You're a country boy.
I always say this, like, we live in the most beautiful area.
I think we do.
And what could be all of the Midwest of the United States.
I think so too.
I always say that.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm a firm believer in it.
Yeah.
Like this specific, like, around the lake area, within 15 minutes of that.
It's not flat.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, if you guys could see Minnesota right now and the autumn colors, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
absolutely beautiful.
I was driving my slingshot here, and I was just smiling the whole time, because I was just looking up at because there's no roof on this vehicle, and it's made by a Polaris company,
which is a Minnesotan company.
Minnesota. So I mean, you literally
they're up north somewhere, and I can't remember where.
Yeah, they got places all over for sure. But that just seeing all the beautiful colors just makes you happy.
Yeah,
it really does.
I think that's one of the I'm going to plug Minnesota, obviously, because I'm a real estate agent, but I think Minnesota's changing of the seasons, they're so extreme, but that's why they're so incredible.
Oh, there's...
Right? Because, like, we're getting close to the winter, and everybody thinks that Minnesota winter is absolutely miserable, and some days maybe it is, but then...
when it's below zero.
Yeah, when it's... and it is. And it is. Like, it's cold, right?
Yeah.
But there's a certain amount of, like... to go to that extreme weather and then to go into extreme goodness and then go back to extreme weather. There's something about it that's actually like weirdly refreshing. Like,
you appreciate the good days.
You appreciate the good days. Like, it could be the most cold day ever, but all of a sudden you'll look out on all of the branches and they will have these like crystal like formations.
They're shining at you.
And they're just sparkling, and there's a stillness, and it sounds quiet because all the snow is absorbing all of the sound. And if you enjoy like just being outside, if you enjoy looking outside, or like, we live in a park, it's so wonderful to like take a walk and
it's amazing
and just see the breath come out of, like, again, Minnesota has its challenges like every other state. But where we live, it's not flat. We've got all these great lakes around us.
Yeah.
We have all different kinds of homes.
Oh, it's beautiful homes.
And what I've learned with being on this side of town, which is outside of the 494 bubble and just west of it, is people are, and I hate that, I fucking hate Minnesota nice, like the phrase.
Sure.
'Cause I think it's like, it's a phrase that's sort of like, there's a lot of Minnesotans that are polite and they're rude.
Sure.
Behind closed doors.
Yeah, they don't...
On this side of town, people are actually, and I don't want to say nice, but they're just like, they're softer, kinder, they accept more. It's also strange because you and I are also next to mega rich out here too.
Oh yeah.
There's like some big money people out here.
And you'd expect them to be mean.
What's that?
You'd expect them to be mean, but they never are.
You go, I mean, if you're in Chicago, people that are like super highbrow, they actually are mean as shit.
Sure.
You go to New York, everybody's kind of rude because they're all kind of on top of each other and they've generated this like weird thick skin. No, we have like room to breathe out here. It's calm. There is something about like that Norwegian Swedish thing where they're hardworking people.
Yeah.
So our neighborhoods are nice because people give a shit.
Yeah, they
you
all
know?
care.
They all care, and it's like, I am very happy. Living out here was not my suggestion. It was Sabrina's suggestion.
Sure.
And I'm really happy that we moved out here because, I of course miss some components of the city, but Minneapolis has changed a lot.
Oh, it's crazy down there.
Yeah.
It's gotten crazy.
And it didn't used to be like that.
No.
Whereas where we are, it's sort of been like, I don't want to be cheesy and say it's like fairy tale, but it's like, it's just been kind of the same. But,
it's pretty much
good.
You're not wrong. It's pretty much a fairy tale here. That's how nice this area is. You take a drive down 15.
Yeah.
And having a tough day, that's like gonna make you.
It like kind of washes your soul. A little bit.
I mean, you could drive around it and get jealous very easily.
Yeah,
but
there's some big,
but it's also so beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's like that just takes your thought right away from
what. I go to Switzerland and Germany a lot because I got family over. My mom lives out there.
Sure.
And one of the things that's interesting about Switzerland is you will be in one of these like great towns that everybody has heard of, and then they don't really call them pubs or bars, whatever, but you'll have like farmers next to bankers, and they all kind of like interface with one another. Sort of like there's like this unusual. Like agreement that they all have, like they're all important,
Sure.
Right? Like out here, I kind of think that that's the same thing, right? Like, I got a buddy. He's in the business of making beautiful lawns, and he's taking care of like some really, incredible like estates and things like
Sure.
that. I got another buddy that he's in landscaping and all these things, and like. But those guys are also working for these, mega boss hog, business owners. But everybody, like, knows that they're all important.
Yeah, they value each other.
They value each other.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that feeling seems less, it's less cared about in the city than it used to be.
Yeah, I think we kind of take it. I take it for granted all the time.
I think we do. I think we can.
I don't. Yeah. The reason why I can is because I don't
we're
go
out
on that side of 494. Really, that you say that. Like I really I stay out of that bubble if I prefer or if I can.
Yeah, and it's not Minnesota.
It's not a knock on anyone down
almost
there
like
either.
It's almost like Minnesota shared admiration. As long as you're as long as you like have some hard work ethic. Yep. You don't have hard work ethic, you're just a slob.
Yeah, the world will eat you right up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What are you seeing change for the better or the good on your side of town, St. Bonnie, Waconia, that area? Like what have you been seeing?
Well, I think
that you like and dislike.
Well, they just built like 4,000 houses, I think, off of Kings Point over there. So that was crazy.
Yeah, that's over by Macathoon's.
Yep. And then they built a huge grocery store over there too, which is, it's beautiful. It's really growing the town. Yeah. I just wish that St. Bonnie itself as a whole would build something more productive for the city. Yeah. But that's above me.
It does seem like St. Bonnie does not have like a long-term plan. Like they've got that cute main road, but nothing's really happening.
Well, they took away our gym. Yeah. And then they put in a tattoo place and a pet shop.
What was the gym? Like a 20?
It was like a snap. Like a snap Fitness or
So they're going from lifting weights to doing tattoo work.
Yeah, and that's all we had. So, and then instead of like building like a store or something next to the Quick Trip, which is downtown, they built storage units. Yeah. So it's like you only get so much land downtown in that intersection. So.
What are you seeing with like families and little kids and things like that? Is it pretty healthy over there? Healthy, what I mean by that is, are there a lot of kids where you guys are?
Yeah, I would say, and then the nice thing is right behind that is the Hunter's Crest development, and that is just, I think there's 3 parks in there, or 4, so in that one area, so it's pretty crazy. And
that was one of the things that I have come to really appreciate being out here, close to Excelsior, is we still have like a lot of like cliques of kids running around, and a lot. But these days, they're all running around with like these e-bikes, right?
They're going faster than I could ever imagine.
Yeah. I mean, some of those things can go like 50 miles per hour. Mm-hmm. So we're like seeing like, they're like motorcycle gangs of like 12-year-olds.
A kid came up to me the other day. He's like, "I'm faster than you." I'm like, "You probably are." Like,
I think it's great though.
Yeah.
Like Excelsior is just full of it. And I don't think like people will ever, want to like govern that a bit. Like
Yeah.
it seems like there's
Oh,
sort of
it'll
like
always be on.
let kids have fun and let them get a little crazy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And we have the trail. It's called the was it the Regional Trail?
Is it the bike trail?
Yeah, and
yeah.
it goes literally all the way past Waconia.
Yeah.
And that'll bring you all the way to Wayzata.
Okay.
And it's the best trail. I mean, it's just beautiful. And that's another thing that we have that not a lot of people will, know that that's
Yeah.
there.
What do you think are the big like challenges that this side of town are going to be dealing with in like let's say the next 10 years?
Basically just the roads. I mean, just the hardest part.
Because we
is,
got skinny roads.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
you get it all gets congested into one. So like
You're talking about like being on 7 or being on
yeah,
5.
yeah. So they're
Going
growing a lot out here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, and we were just talking about that kind of the 494 bubble. Well, when
Yeah.
you get outside of that, every road is a single road.
Exactly.
And it
Yeah.
gets congested at one accident or one road work,
Slows it down.
and it's done.
Yeah.
Like, you're backed up.
We're seeing a lot of development in Chanhassen, lots of like warehouses, a lot of office spaces, and a lot
Yeah.
of like, it seems from a development in just like industry,
Yeah.
like actually industry.
Yeah.
It's like growing out here.
Over off 5, I've seen a lot of big industrial, kind of by Prince's Place.
Exactly. And the reason I bring this up is, again, I'm going to put my realtor hat on real quick. I think a lot of companies are realizing that there's, number one, there's a lot of hardworking people out here.
Yeah.
But they're not dumb either. They're
No.
like, it's well-educated people.
Yeah.
Everybody's pretty well-spoken. I just don't come across people that are crass. Like,
Yeah.
like, I know that there are people that are, and
Yeah.
maybe they are, but like in a funny way, if anything.
I
But
mean,
they're not like they don't use foul language out here on the.
or they'll be just a lot of people. I think are out here. A good word for it is straightforward.
Very straightforward.
I think a lot of people are just they know
Yeah.
what they want, and
They-
and
And I think these companies must be like saying to themselves, you know what, this is probably a good area to grow a workforce in.
Sure. Oh,
Because there's just a
100%.
lot. So if you're curious, if this is why I think it's always a good bet to buy out here, because I think that these companies they're like very intentionally growing out here.
Yeah.
And so that's good for like not just like propping up values, but like just like creating strong neighborhoods. Like it's insane what has changed in
I'll go out to
Chanhassen
like towards
or
like
Waconia.
Norwood, and
Yeah.
I'll see a full development out there, and
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a beautiful homey development
Yeah.
like we'd have over here, but
It's like the world works in these ebbs and flows or cycles or whatever, like rubber bands.
Yep.
And I think there was this huge rush to urbanization.
Yeah.
Like we all thought it was cooler. So we like wanted, I shouldn't say we all, but a lot of people wanted to live in the city, very specifically
Sure.
Minneapolis, right? But, a lot of leadership has really like shit the bed out there.
Yeah.
And, people are like, no, I want to have the family life. I want the calm. I want the safety.
It's not the safety.
The safety's
That's what I was
huge.
gonna say.
And, like-
that's my big thing is safety.
Like, there's robberies everywhere, right? Like, there's petty theft everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to get away from it. But it's so seldom out here.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't exist.
Man, it's gotten to the point where it's hard to even like enjoy yourself after the football game if you go down to the U.S. Bank Stadium
Yeah.
or like to do some of this stuff
Yeah.
or Target Center.
Yeah.
Like you go a couple blocks over. Like I think it was last year I went to a football game and my cousin got jumped after the football game and got all of his stuff taken.
Wow.
It's like and that just like stuff like that deters you from wanting to go down.
I have heard, too, that there's guys that are thinking about building out, like, a very large, like, another kind of, like, a music center out here on the west side of town. I don't know where that's happening.
Yep.
Like, I almost want to say it's going to be, like, maybe more close to Hamel, maybe, which is obviously much further north, but, again, outside of that 494 bubble.
Yep.
We'll just call that whole area just the west side of town.
Yeah, and that's a cool thing. I think the circle outside of it. There's always something going. I feel like every weekend.
Yeah.
Like, there's always
There's
always an
Yeah.
event to do or something fun to do.
Yeah.
Like,
There's like in Minnetrista, for instance, that new pizza place. I can't remember the name of it, but it just opened up. Did you ever go on its Wednesday nights? The pizza thing that they were doing outside. Do you know what I'm
No.
talking about?
Not sure on that one.
Well, it's what I have found is like if you like to keep busy and you like to be outside and you like to do things with the kids, like there's just a lot of like there's apple orchards and things like that. And honestly, I mean, I'm 41 now. You know, you
Yeah.
get to my age, it's nice to kind of have something be safe with a ton of kids.
Yeah,
You know,
it's still fun.
yeah, and it's still fun.
It's not like you're just bored,
No.
or boring. It's
Yeah.
not.
And people
dull.
drink beer out here, which is
Oh,
good
yeah.
for some and not great for others,
Yeah.
but like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's all. That's all in the good fun that you start going to these. You know, I just brought my kiddo to the apple orchard last week, and it's just crazy.
Which one did you go to?
I went to Loose Line over off. It's over by Watertown a little bit.
Cool.
And yeah, just
I wonder
beautiful
if Loose
place.
Line was the one I was talking about.
It could have been.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Did they have a pizza place outside and like a corn thing that you could jump into?
Yeah, they had a bunch of stuff like that.
Where they have like a pavilion thing and then the huge corn.
Yep. They built the.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy how much they grow every year. But
Yeah.
they redid the whole thing this year.
Oh yeah, that is
so-
what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And-
so it's beautiful.
yeah, and that's where that it's right next to a new restaurant, right? Maybe.
This one's way out in the country, so it's just its
Maybe.
own road there.
The one thing that we have to figure out, and I shouldn't be shitting on the vineyards out here, but like Minnesota grown wine is not the best. I don't know if you've ever
Yeah.
tried it.
I'm not a big
Yeah.
wine guy. I got into wine for about half a year.
Yeah, it's just not for you.
I used to go to the bar
Yeah.
and this English guy came walking in and he's like the usual.
Yeah.
And me being young, I just turned 21.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What's the?" And then I see her she pours up a full glass of red wine and she puts a shot in there.
Ugh.
And I'm like, "What is that, dude?"
Yeah.
And then he drinks it and he's drinking it next to me. And I'm like, "What is that?" Honestly. And I was like, "I'll have one."
Yeah.
So then I was ordering. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but it's like 3 of them. You're toast.
Yeah.
It's the
That's
darkest red wine you can get with a shot of brandy.
Where
straight in.
where is this?
This was at the Narrows.
Oh, okay, at the Narrows.
where I met this guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm just like, you are wild, man. But
The
yeah.
Narrows is in a cool part of town. That's like that border of like Spring Park, Mound, and Orono kind of an area.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's crazy. You walk one block and
Yeah.
you go through 3 towns.
I mean, it's another thing. You know, if anybody is not from this side of town and wants to move out here, and you think, gosh, it's just not a happening area. No, that's actually not true at all.
Oh, it's very its own. It's
Yeah.
it's a beautiful like it's
And
kinda-
it's like there's a lot of
autumn.
vibrancy of people.
Yeah.
Like the town of Excelsior. I don't know how often you're going into it, but there's tons of, you know, they're starting to put, you know, the events on the main street, and they're
Yep.
very robust. There's
Oh, they're
music and shops, and the
Oh,
food's
yeah.
gotten a lot better. I mean, we even have guys doing, you know, like David Fema. He's opened up a restaurant in Excelsior, and Gesture Group. I don't know. Did you ever go to Parlor Bar downtown and try their like very famous Parlor Burger? Do you know what I'm talking about or no?
Gosh, I feel like it sounds like something I've seen.
Well, there's one in Excelsior now, so I
Okay.
encourage your going.
Okay, I'll have to go try one.
Yeah.
Try it here.
Yeah, so we'll make a part 2. We'll show the gaming pad. Is there anything else you want to share about
Yeah.
life in general, being out here?
Yeah, just I mean, just really appreciate you
Yeah.
having me here, and you know.
Well, you did us a solid, and I
Yeah.
wanted
Right.
I really want you guys to consider, you know, if you have those needs,
Yeah,
you know, like call Jake. He's fast.
and it helps you put a face to the company, and I mean, honestly, I just take like I think I said a few times, but I'll always just say I take pride in everything that I do.
Yeah.
Like I never half-ass anything.
No, you don't.
in
Not at
life,
all.
Yeah. So
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us. This is a shorter Real Talk Geo, and I'm gonna, you know, I always say that I'm gonna attempt to do more of these, but I'm pretty inclined in doing more of these. But we're gonna have to do a part 2 because we got to show you this gaming pad. But we'll put it in the description, the website, and all that good stuff. And I appreciate you. Thanks very much for
Yeah.
coming.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate you as well.
Cool.
And stuff.
And that's that.